We're live. We are live. Conference committee at H.949, the yield bill. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
We have language on much of this, not all of it, that we can share pieces of. That's helpful, but I'm just going to verbally say it. And if it starts to feel good, then we can have staff work on it.
Yeah.
So what we can do is meet your proposal around the 115, but move the FY20, basically move our FY29 up to FY28. So we're like leaping to FY29.
Wait,
in our proposal.
FY29.
What we had on our print, it's 15.115.5. Call it 115. We do there. That's how we laid out FY29.
Okay.
And then going to the and then we'd be at the 114.2 in FY30. I know that you want to talk about stepping down from there. We have not had time to have a conversation about stepping down from there, but probably would not be able to step down very far from there, to be honest. Because that's already, frankly, to some degree below upfront dollar for dollar how much a district would likely get under the foundation formula. And so anyway, it's saying yes, 115.5 in FY26. And sorry, FY27. Glasses. So yes,
115.5
in FY28. Yes, your dates for school construction bonding.
Okay.
And one of the big concerns that we've been working with, and I think you all worked with when you were still talking about allowable growth, is when we ratchet down the excess spending threshold, one of the biggest pressure points is on operating elementary schools in districts that don't have operating high schools. The place that I actually hear about this the most is around tuitioning to public schools in Windsor County for whatever reason, but it happens all over the state. And so what we would,
a lot of people in that.
yeah,
We do.
so what we would like to do as part of this, the part of this proposal that makes that 115 work is that we would freeze allowable tuition, which is sort of a public school.
The current tuition.
Yeah. The public school construct and add with an inflator and freeze independent school tuition at whatever was charged this year with an inflator. So that everyone is sort of getting
The same like
everyone's getting the same sort of situation to some degree.
Allowable or announced? We have specific wording on that.
Yeah, we have language.
Is there significantly different?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
schools, it's
absolutely.
dramatic.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so that's what John can take us back to one of them, whoever can take us through that.
before we do that, we're doing 115 starting in FY28.
115.5 starting in FY28.
115.5.
That's the number that we had for FY29.
Okay. And then we're going to 114.2
In 2030.
in
FY30. What about
FY30.
in between not stay at 115.5.
Okay. So the 115.5 would be for 28 and 29.
Mhm.
We're going to FY30. And that would be
And that would be when the foundation
when
formula
the
kicks in.
foundation formula comes in.
But if it doesn't kick in,
Yeah.
we could stay there for 2 more years and then maybe drop a little bit from there, but we can't go much below that.
Okay. No foundation formula.
And we have not worked that part out yet. so
Okay.
that's not a
No
that's not-
foundation formula could drop one more.
Maybe, but we can, for now, let's just say stay at 114.2.
And you were fine with the date or the July
Yeah.
resolution.
That's school construction. And okay, let's have John go over John.
Or about that.
Whoever's drafted the public with private tuition with inflator.
Yeah.
That, okay. This is new.
St. James Augustine Legislative Council. Please bear with me while I park my shirts off.
won the basketball. If you want to exert basketball, you know, I have no idea. Just talking amongst yourselves.
Would you like me to give you a copy?
Yes, please.
Does anyone know what I'm referring to right now?
Please.
Copy.
Coffee top.
Oh, how come it's just that? Yes.
So it is announced tuition in the case of public schools, and it would be whatever tuition was charged in the case of independent schools. We talked about trying to find a similar,
All schools announce tuition.
but not, they don't all follow averaged announced.
Only independent schools follow that. Unless they can be allowed to spend money. Public schools don't follow average amounts.
Okay, so we'll look at it.
Just. We're not trying to create a public versus private war.
Very much not.
We're trying to make sure that there's some limitation on those tuition expenses.
Sorry.
Your concern is
It's not
as
happening.
the excess spending threshold drops.
Oh,
in
there.
districts that have mixed both elementary schools, they would only have to cut their public elementary schools, they would need the announced tuitions of the independent schools.
That's exactly right.
Or the tuitions of public schools.
Right, either way.
And so, and I know that you guys all talked about this in the context of the allowable growth, but I'm not sure if you sort of finished
We haven't done.
the conversation. And
Yeah.
so, we attempted to try to find like a number that would work in both scenarios and decided to keep them separate.
Recall seeing a graph of growth of those announced tuitions, that's it skyrocketed, or what's been the trend over the past few years, both public and private schools?
Very scattered.
So
I think a trend would not tell, I think a trend might show a story that's like a little too summative.
I think the story would be is that the public announced tuition has increased dramatically faster than the independent schools that are not subject to the average announced tuition.
The language reads, notwithstanding any provision of law to the contrary for fiscal years 28 and 29 only. The tuition paid to a public receiving school shall not exceed the school's announced tuition for the previous fiscal year increased by NEPA. And the tuition paid to an approved independent school shall not exceed the tuition charged by the school for the previous fiscal year increased by NEPA. That's it.
Okay, that's the same increase. You'd say.
Oh, yeah, NEPA's is gonna be later for, yeah, as we explore Texas. Yes. And it's really like, it's an attempt for us to mitigate some of the real challenges that happen when we're born.
Especially in Windsor County seem to have a lot of schools hitting.
Yeah, it's this squeezing though is an issue that I've heard about from districts in the kingdom quite a few times. It's an issue that's come up over and over again over the years.
So this puts everybody on the same diet.
That is the hope, yeah. Or at least similar diets, like, you know, some people respond better to have this kind of.
They aren't.
Tell them to say
Mediterranean.
maybe.
So what do you do in a situation where the receiving district is receiving a lot more money for the grades that they're sending out for their tuition students? Can you say that again? I want to make sure. What do you do about the situation where a district is receiving more money from the education fund for their tuition students than they're sending out within the tuition payment?
So the hope is that like, right, this is all gonna get fixed in 955, where we're just really clear with how much everyone gets, right? And so this is an interim measure. And the idea is that this will prevent districts from trying to sort of recoup losses from their district by increasing costs for another district. That's the goal.
But they're receiving more money now than they're sending out in tuition. I mean,
I'm
think-
sorry, what, Can you tell me about, what is a scenario where a district would receive more in tuition than they would send out in tuition?
They receive more and when they take their weighted spending and they multiply it times the weights for those kids, they receive more money
From
than
where?
they send out in tuition payments for the kids,
Receive more money from where?
education.
They don't send the weighted money to the kids
No.
and the other school.
They send them, no, they send
they
the
don't-
tuition, but it's not.
Why would the district receive more money from the education fund than they were spending?
Because it's a function of how much money they decide to spend times the weight of the kids.
But it's really not money going back and forth, it's tax capacity, so they just agree to raise less.
The money they receive is a function of their total weighted student count times however much their pupil spends is. That's how much they receive.
Well, they receive what their total people spending is. They just receive what they have said is their
I
budget.
think the whole
I
problem.
am,
with-
I'm totally,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm
I
totally
think the
confused.
problem with this is that the premise here is that somehow, schools that receive tuition, whether they're public or independent, are putting pressure on districts that send those students. And I think that premise is not true, certainly not true universally.
There are a lot of clear examples where it's true.
With math,
Thank you, maybe I'm.
I gotta step out for a few minutes.
You all wanna? And you have to stop in 5 minutes.
We have to stop at 5.
Okay, so, maybe we can meet again in a few hours,
We are back on the floor at
3:30?
let's be 30 optimistic.
Stop 3:30,
It's off 3:30.
Part 4?
Hard for.
Hard for.
Okay, great, thanks.